What's your job? What do you do? How would you respond if you were asked this? In this video, I'll be sharing with you loads of great ways to answer this question so that you sound more like a native speaker. Come and join me. In English, there are many ways to ask people about the work they do. And it's also an incredibly common IELTS Part 1 speaking topic. This is one that you want to get right because it's often asked at the beginning of the exam, and so it's a good opportunity to start well with a confident answer. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you loads of great native speaker model answers to help you improve your English and your IELTS bound score. So pay attention to the language I use and my native speaker pronunciation. So if you're ready, let's get started. In English, there are many ways to ask people about the work they do. So let's look at perhaps the 5 most common questions. What's your job? What do you do? What do you do for a living? What line of work are you in? What is it that you do, or what is it you do? And the reply to these questions can be quite simple. Let's have a look at a few examples. What's your job? I'm a primary school teacher. What do you do? I work part-time as a shop assistant. What line of work are you in? I'm a self-employed builder. What do you do for a living? I run my own IT company. What is it that you do? Right now, I'm working as a full-time waiter. These answers are fine, but they give no or little additional information. To seem more interesting, you can give some extra details, like say where you work, say how long you've been doing the job, and say what you like about it. Let's look at a couple of examples. What do you do? I'm a waiter. How long have you been doing this job? I've been doing it for a couple of years. Where do you work? I work at a restaurant in the city centre. Do you like it? Yes, you meet a lot of interesting people. What do you do for a living? I'm a qualified nurse. Where do you work? Right now, I'm working at a care home for the elderly in the UK. How long have you been doing this job? I've been there for just over 6 months. Do you like it? Yes, it's very rewarding and the people are lovely. But we don't have to wait to be asked all 4 questions. We can provide this information in one long extended answer. Let's have a look at this. What do you do? I'm a full-time waiter at a restaurant here in the city. I've been doing it for a couple of years and I like it. You meet a lot of interesting people. What do you do for a living? I'm a qualified nurse. Right now I'm working at a care home for the elderly here in the UK, and I've been there for just over 6 months now. It's very rewarding work and the people are lovely. So as you can see, giving an extended reply is a much better way to answer questions about your work. So as promised, let's look at some great native speaker model answers to these 5 different questions about your work. Question 1. What's your job? I work as a chef for a well-known hotel here in the city centre, and I've been doing this job for about 5 years now. Before, I was working at a smaller hotel, and so I was ready for a new challenge. I'm a self-employed builder, and I have my own business. I have a small office in the centre of town, and I've been doing this kind of work ever since I finished school, and I'm very happy with my job. I'm a freelance web designer and I work from home and sometimes in my clients' offices. I've been doing this kind of work ever since I finished college and I really enjoy what I do. I'm employed as a gardener for the council and I work in a park in the south of the city. I've only been doing the job for a couple of months now, but I'm really enjoying the work and I love being outside. I work part-time as a shop assistant in a supermarket and I've been doing this for more or less 3 years now. It's in my neighborhood, which is very convenient for me, and because I have a family, the hours really suit me. I'm a chemical engineer in a big multinational and I've been in my current position for about 6 months. I'm based at company headquarters here in the city, but I travel all over the world, which for me is a real bonus. I'm a tax consultant for one of the Big Four, and I've been doing this ever since I finished my MBA 6 years ago. Our offices are in the business district of the city, but I spend a lot of time in our clients' offices. I think I'm really lucky because I love what I do. Question 2. What do you do? I'm doing an electrician apprenticeship with a local building company. I started there when I finished school 2 years ago. I spend 3 days a week working on site with qualified electricians and 2 days a week at college. It's a really interesting job and I'm enjoying it. I'm a doctor and I work as a family medicine specialist in the private sector. The clinic where I work is in a residential area in the north of the city and I've been there for about 3 years now. For me, it's very satisfying work. Well, I'm a supervisor in a call center for a big insurance company. Our offices are downtown and I've been working there ever since I finished university. I started as a teleoperator and I've worked my way up, which is something I'm really pleased about. Well, I've recently finished a degree in medicine and now I'm doing my residency in a hospital on the outskirts of the city. I've been working there for about 1.5 years. I always wanted to be a doctor and now it's really happening. I'm a businessman. I own a number of restaurants around the city, mainly downtown, and I have an office not far from my house. I gave up working as an economist around 10 years ago when I bought my first restaurant, and to be honest, I've never looked back. At the moment, I'm working as a receptionist in a hotel near the airport, and I've been doing this for a couple of years. I'm also studying hotel management so that I can have more career opportunities in the future, and I'm really happy to be working in this sector. I'm a junior manager in a consultancy firm here in the city centre. I've been there since 2019, and before that I worked for one of their competitors. In fact, they headhunted me, and I feel I really made the right decision in moving. Question 3. What do you do for a living? I work as a secretary for a manufacturing company which is in a town not far from here. I started off doing some temporary work around 6 years ago, and then one of the other secretaries left, and so they offered me a full-time position. And it's a great place to work, really. Currently, I'm working as a cashier in a supermarket. I was hired a couple of months ago. It's pretty close to my house, and so far, I have to say, I'm really enjoying it. Right now, I'm in the process of setting up my own import-export business. I've been doing it for about 3 months now, and I'm working from home at the moment. I'm really excited at the prospect of getting a new business off the ground. I'm a big data analyst for a software company based in a technological park outside the city. I've been there for a little over a year now, and the work is very interesting and I'm learning a lot of new things. I work for an IT firm as a software engineer. I'm based at their head office, which is in a business park not far from my home. I've been with them for around 4 years now, and things are going pretty well. I'm a human resources manager for a Fortune 500 company, and I've been in my current position for the last 7 years. Our headquarters are in the financial district of the city, and for me it's a very dynamic and satisfying job. I'm head of recruitment for an internet startup, and I only took up the position last year. At the beginning, I was working from home, but we've recently moved into some business premises outside the city. So things are starting to happen, which is exciting. Question 4. What line of work are you in? Well, I work for our family business. We import goods from abroad for a number of high street retailers. I'm based at a warehouse which is on an industrial estate, and I started there just after I finished university in 2018. I like what I'm doing, and I think that's really important. Right now, I'm working as an admin assistant, but I've actually trained to be an actor, which is what I hope to do in the future. I work at an agency here in the centre, and I've been there for just over a year. It's not what I want to do with my life, but I quite enjoy it. I'm a nurse at a hospital here in my town, and I've been doing this ever since I finished my studies 7 years ago. It's very rewarding work, and I get a lot of job satisfaction. I'm a dentist, and I work at a clinic in a residential neighbourhood on the other side of town. I started off there as an intern 5 years ago, and I've been there ever since. It's a very nice place to work. I've been working as a full-time firefighter ever since I finished my training 2 years ago. I was working at a station downtown, but I've just transferred to one closer to my home. And the job's everything I expected and a lot more. I'm a community manager for a small radio station here in the city, and I've been in the job for just over 18 months now. It's my first full-time position, and I'm really enjoying it and learning a lot. I'm working as a lecturer at a university here in the city while I finish my PhD in molecular biology. It's only a 10-minute walk from my home, and I've been giving classes there for about 4 months now. To be honest, I'm enjoying it much more than I expected. Question 5. What is it that you do? Well, a couple of months ago, I started work at a primary school as a classroom assistant. It's quite a long way from my house, about 40 minutes on public transport, but it's a lot of fun and very rewarding. I'm an apprentice carpenter and I'm in my final year. So I've been doing it for 3 years now. I work on different sites all over the city, so it's quite varied and I like that. I've been working as a flight engineer in the Air Force for the last 10 years. I've worked all over the world, and right now I'm on a base in the north of my country, and I really love my job. I work full-time as a waiter in my father's restaurant, which is just a couple of blocks away from where we live, and I've been working there ever since I was a teenager. It's a fun job, and I really enjoy it. I've just started a 12-month internship in a renowned law firm downtown. I've only been there about 6 weeks, but so far I'm learning a lot and gaining some valuable work experience. I'm a maths teacher at a high school here in the city. Actually, it's in the neighbourhood where I live. I started at this school at the beginning of the last academic year, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm a blogger and I write about popular TV series from the comfort of my own home. I used to work for a newspaper, but when my blog started to become popular, I left to concentrate on it full time. And it's the best decision I've ever made. So there you go, some great extended native speaker model answers about your work. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and feel free to drop me a comment about your work down below. Remember to click subscribe and the bell so that you never miss the opportunity to improve your English and your IELTS band score. I'm David. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and remember, keep practicing. See you next time.